Hello, this is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. I'm here in Caddis Island, Toms River, New Jersey. I was biking earlier and I bumped into Tommy here. Tommy has a really cool Ram van conversion that he's going to tell us about and give us a tour here today. Well, Tommy, welcome to New Jersey Outdoor Adventures.
Hey Patrick, how are you?
Oh, good. So, what do you have here?
So this is my 2000 Roadtrek 170. Has three versions. That's the shortest one, the 190 and 210. I think it's the same wheelbase, but a little bit longer. So you're gonna have more space if you go with the 190 or a 210. But I heard from people that's fish sailing a little bit long. So for two people, I think, you know, has enough space. You can park easy, and when you're driving, I think it just handles fairly okay, because again, it's a U2000. So I don't know if you want to check it out. I got a fire extinguisher. I never used it. I got, you know, the 120 in case, you know, I'm using, you know, something outside. Now the other thing I like to, you know, mention, I got some insulation. I think it's like almost 1 inch, and also I got the reflectives. So I want to keep the heat out, or if, you know, in a cold weather, you know, I would like to keep the cold out. That was just a, you know, plain white glass, so I tinted, and I also have some noise insulation as well. So every window all around has a noise insulation. I got 1 inch, half inch, or a 1/4 inch, 3/4 inch of foamy kind of Home Depot. I'm not sure what's the board name. And also at the end, you know, the cold reflectors, you know, so it works. You definitely feel you don't need to use as much, you know, AC, or when you cold, you know, propane. Now inside, it's how would I say, it's fairly nomad. You know, I got no TV. I'm not using a lot of luxury, because I did that. So you know, I'm just, you know, I'm just not doing that kind of lifestyle anymore. And I would probably start over here. You know, this is my, you know, furnace that runs on propane gas. I got a thermostat next to my bed, so I can set the temperature. It doesn't use a lot, and it's actually comes down to how you use it, because this kind of lifestyle, it depends on how much time you spend inside and what you do outside. And the whole full-time RV slash campervan lifestyle is to be outside, because that's what we need to do, and that's why we, you know, doing it. I got just plain blankets here, you know. I got actually a few more when it's hot and, you know, or cold, you know. It just helps to keep, you know, the temperature, you know, out. And also people just don't see inside and, you know, doesn't know what's going on. And I'm gonna turn the chairs on because I can. I need to lift it up over here. And it works this way. I also have some curtain in the front, and when I'm having company, I'm just using it this way. Oh boy, that needs some. That's it. Okay, so I can put this one behind. So usually I'm just using it like this. I have a little table here which comes between the two chairs. So I usually just use this part. I could use the back, but I don't really want to move my bed. I like it as it is, you know. So usually that's how it is. So if we go further, that's my kitchen. I got a little sink, you know, I got hot water, I got cold water. That's my water heater. I got a 2 burner stove. I usually just use one of them. I get the fan, so even if I do something like steak, it just works perfectly. There's a light, which we don't really see much. It's a little bit noisy, but it works. Again, it's really good. It takes and sucks, you know, the air out. That's probably everything falling out. That's my gym bag and usually my laundry. By the way, I have to go and do laundry. I'm not really organized, you know, but I know exactly if I need something where to find them. So that's what it is. I got 2 chopboards, and actually the way I do the kitchen, you know, that slides out. This one slides out. I got, you know, fork, knives, you know, spoons, you know, whatever I need. And I got 2 chopboard. You know, this is the one I use. And the other one, sometimes I put it here, so I got plenty of space to use, you know, if I do something, let's say steak, or cook something, you know, more than, let's say, eggs and stuff like that. Just goes back over here. My water heater over here, I may be able to show it to you. Again, you know, not so organized, and that's, I think, 10 gallon. Or maybe not, I'm not sure, because I got, you know, liters and gallons, you know, sometimes in my head. I do sometimes, you know, cooking, you know, I use it for rice, my herbs. Again, I just keep it simple. I got just plain, you know, car boxes. It's light. That's important to keep it light as well, because you don't want to use a lot of weight. I got my fridge, which I love. This one, it's a 3-way fridge. Right now I'm on propane. I can plug in, if I'm on campsite, I can plug into 120, and I also use my house, you know, battery. But I not recommend this, you know, that's just temporary. I would say a few hours, you know, because it doesn't, you know, last long. It runs perfectly. The way I use it, you know, it runs right now, it runs on 4. I would say fill it up every couple of weeks. Really, it doesn't take a lot of gas. So usually if I have few hours and I could plug in, I still just, you know, leave it on gas. You know, I just, you know, really don't care. I have a, you know, extra fan, and the way I use it, you know, I just pop this open, you know, put it over here. This one opens, obviously, that sucks the air out if I cook. That's very useful. If it's hot, you know, or I just want some fresh air, you know, I can turn it on. The remote is over here, so maybe I can even show it to you. That's all great, because I broke the original one. And it opens. You can adjust, you know, the speed. You can turn it around. Now it's, you know, blows air in, and also I can set temperature. So the way it works, it's not AC. When it's hot, it runs a little bit, you know, faster, and when the temperature cools down, there is a sensor, I think. When the temperature, you know, reach whatever, you know, you set, you know, it slows down a little bit, you know, or even stop, you know, sometimes, you know. And I really love, you know, that's one of the highlights, you know, I like. I got some, well, I got actually a few headphones. I have a third one over there, but let's not talk about headphones right now. I don't know how much we see. That's basically my on and off switch. I can kill the house battery. And I can actually check how much propane I have, how much, you know, fresh, you know, water I have, you know, and also the holding, the gray and the black. So I can tell, you know, if it's full, I have to dump it, you know, the black is full, the gray is full. I got like 3 quarters of propane, and I have some fresh, you know, water. So you can keep your eye on it, and you kind of know, you know, what's going on. That's the switch for the outside light. On this side, I don't know if I open it, if you're able to see, you know, that's where I keep, you know, my stuff. I got some extra shoes, I just, you know, threw it over there. I got some, you know, socks, you know, underwear, you know, I got some, you know, t-shirts there. And I try to keep it, you know, organized. I think, you know, like everyone is just shirts, you know, and t-shirts and stuff, nothing to really talk here. And that's the toilet here, and shower. Now, I use the toilet. I don't really use the shower, because usually how it works, It works with the fitness club. You can use the fitness club, you know, if you're active, you know, you have to use the fitness club, and over there, you know, just works better. The reason I stopped using the shower over here, because the floor, that's basically a big shower pan, and I think it's some composite fiberglass something, and it wasn't good enough in the cold. In the hot you don't really care, but it wasn't good enough for, you know, cold. So what I've done, you know, I did some, you know, installation over here. You know, this is a 1-inch foam, so it just keeps the hot in a little bit better. So I can't really use the shower anymore. But I think, you know, again, you know, because of fitness, you know, you just can't, you know, compete, you know, with that.
So what you're saying is the shower wasn't in that closet there. The shower actually was the hallway?
Yeah, there's yeah, exactly. So I think it's a clever thing. There's a plug somewhere. I can't really show you because again, you know, I blocked it. But you see the shower rail over here. So you just, you know, keep the curtain inside, and when you're ready to take a shower, you know, you just use the curtain. You got the fan, so you can suck, you know, the moisture, you know, out, and the that's connected to the gray water tank. So I think it's a great idea because the whole package is compact. So they're not really using space for the shower, because you take shower like what, 10 minutes. So using a big chunk of space for nothing. So I think as an idea for, I think Roadtrek using this system, and they not let, you know, it's patterned, you know, system, but I'm not sure. And the back of the van, that's basically they call, I'm not sure what's the size, but 2 people, that's enough for 2 people.
Looks bigger than a twin, maybe a double.
Yeah, I think they call double, but it's an RV life, you know, they call it, you know, double, you know. Nothing, you know, extra here, you know. I can't really, again, because I do installation on windows, you know, I'm not using, you know, the windows. Over here I got some storage, I got some, you know, vitamins here, I got some, you know, supplements for the fitness, you know. I'm a big fan of Snapple. I got some papers for the vehicle. Over here, what is? Oh, okay, we can talk about the AC. That's the upgrade. That's not the original one. I have the remote. I can set the fan. I can low and high. Also the energy saver. I'm not really using the energy saver, so I just use the low, and I set the temperature 72-ish. You know, it's good. Now the way it works over here, you can open and close a flap, both sides. And that actually, you can, you know, channel some air over here. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe I can turn these up. How's that? So you can channel some air over here, in this side and this side. So when you have AC, that actually helps a little bit. Light, I upgraded to LED. I got 100 amp hour battery, and I got 6 lights. So when you're using 6 lights, if you change it to LED, you save a lot. So I think, you know, that's great. Under the bed, I got some storage. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. That's speaker here, and it's another speaker there. That's, I don't know how far we see, that's the electric box. And over here I have propane and CO2 sensor. So in case I got some propane leakage, that's, you know, beeps, and also, you know, if I have some CO2 leakage, it beeps.
Now, is that bed set up permanently, or is that convert?
Originally, that's actually upgrade. It's a one piece foam, but originally how it works, I don't know how well you see, but you could put, there's a space for table. So there's a bench over here. There's a bench over here, and there's another bench over here. So it's like a U-shaped bench. You know, you could use the table, but for me, it just it's a lot of time, you know, to set it up. So I just use the front. It's much easier. I got a little table there. That's enough for 2. If you have more people, I just don't see to have more people in a small camper when you have 2 beds. But even, you know, bigger RVs, you know, they have, you know, sometimes, you know, double bed. but they can, seat, 4, maybe 5 people. I never figured, what's the purpose of that, So there's not much on this side. I got the awning. I never really use it. I got some exterior light. Never really use it. I got my spare tire. Luckily, I never used it. Takes some time to take it off, but hey, I have it. This is some storage I have. I got things I hopefully not using a lot. I got some tools here. I got my 300 piece of toolbox here. I got some shocks I need to put it on. That's for the front. Usually with car parts, I just go with the affordable, cheap ones, because when I get into take it apart, I check what's going on, and usually if I'm there, I just change things, just make sure that I'm okay. I want to talk about a little bit of this. This is what I installed. It's 1 inch wide, I think, from Home Depot, some insulation, because when it's getting a little bit cold, it just helps to keep the cold out a little bit. And when I open it, I just don't like when you see what's going on. It's not necessarily everyone needs to know it's a camper. We got a little high top, I think from company, they cut it off here, and that's the fiberglass. Those vents, I got AC inside, and those 2 vents for the AC. And when we're gonna go inside, maybe we can check it out. Just want to mention I got rear cam, so in case you're gonna see my video and follow me, just make sure, because you're gonna be on the video. I have to show you that's the gas fill up. I got propane on board, and I think it's 7-gallon propane. The tank installed over here. The whole package is quite tight, so if you go under, you see the gauge. I'm like halfway. I got the T over here. That's me. That's just the homemade with zip ties and some duct tape. We're gonna see. I got a little generator, just enough to run the AC. So that's over here. This is the fridge, and I do believe that's the boiler, my water heater as well. And this is not the furnace.
That's actually this is the refrigerator ventilation. This is the lower vent.
Okay.
And then this is the upper vent, most likely. I feel some heat coming out of it.
No, that's probably the heat inside. That's the vent for. I got the fan, I think. Or maybe you're right. That's the fridge. Sorry, you're right. That's for the fan. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little bit confused here. I never really use it, so I think I took it off like once. I don't know if it's a good idea or a bad idea, but I think it just proves that it works, so you don't have to do things. I got a little storage over here. Take stuff out, so you're gonna see. I'm maybe gonna mention it. I know the company recommend 10W30, but I go with the 0W40, and what actually it does, it says European, but I think it's just a word to sell the product. The 0W40, that's when it's cold, it's flowing, and also when it heats up, it gets thick. So you have a wider window to work with the material. I think it works. The other thing I want to show, that's another upgrade, I would say. It's a good product, and I would recommend this to people. That's called Evans High Performance, waterless engine coolant. And basically what it does, the boil point, that's 375 Fahrenheit. So this one likes to run quite hot. I think it runs on 205, 210, which I think it's a little bit hot. But we know when it starts, boiling, the pressure builds and just leads, to problem. We're losing coolant, and then we don't know we have less coolant what we need, and then just leads to other problems. So I think it's a good product. This one I wouldn't really mention. It's not that important. This is my cable when I'm in camping. I have to plug in. Actually, I got 2. This is here, and actually I camp, the other part, it's over there. And I have to, because I have to cut it short, because The next one I want to talk about, that's a little Ryobi 700 watts generator, and that's the cable, you know, we saw from the propane. So I'm running it on propane, and I think propane just cleaner, and you don't have to maintain, you don't have to worry that you have bad gas. It works all the time, just enough to run the AC. Unfortunately, it doesn't run. I have microwave, but I'm not really using it. So if you check, that's the over here, the outdoor, you know, shower. I got, you know, if it opens, I got some cable. I don't have TV, so I'm not really, you know, using this kind of stuff. I got some spare, you know, belt, you know, in case, you know, I got some, you know, problems. I got some spare, you know, brake pads in case I have, you know, some, you know, problems, you know.
I see a waste hose in here. Where does the waste discharge?
Oh, that's for my sewage. That's actually over here. That's the step to get inside. So that connects to over here. I got black tank and I have the gray tank. Obviously, you open your black tank first, then open, you know, your gray tank for a second, you know, to flush it out a little bit. There's a process, you know. I'm not gonna really go into, you know, details, you know, how it works, you know, but you know, people who wants to go into do this kind of lifestyle, you know, they have to learn it sooner or later, you know. So the next, we're almost inside. The next I would like to, you know, show, that's the fresh water fill up. I can't really tell how much it holds, but I'm just guessing, you know, it's definitely more than, you know, 20 gallon. I'm not sure exactly, but it's more than enough. And I think that's pretty much it from outside, you know. I don't know, it's just the Dodge 2500.
What would you say your level of commitment to the van life is? Are you a full-timer, a part-timer, or a weekend warrior?
Now I'm full-timer, and actually I jumped into full-timer. And so my story, when I was mid-20s, I cycled a lot. Actually, I grew up, I got my first bike, and for me it was, you know, using on the street, then using it in a town, then the next town. So I was, you know, 16, 17, you know, where I grew up. I already, you know, wanted to check out, you know, what's going on the other side of the mountain. So fairly early, you know, I hooked up, you know, with the active, you know, lifestyle, and then, you know, you get used to how to deal with, you know, mountain, you know, what you need, you know, when you know, want to climb over the mountain, you know, maybe it's hot, you know, when you go up, it's gonna get cold. So I fairly used to go far away from home. Fairly early, I used to, you know, go far away from home. So, and one step after the other, you know, you just go and start, you know, developing, you know, yourself and start understanding yourself, and then you're asking question, you know, what do you need and what do you want from life? And then I early figured that having a house is a big commitment, you know, paying mortgage, that's a big commitment. It's a lot of stress. Get up early, you know, go back to the same place. It's working for a lot of people, but for me, you know, I knew it's just not gonna work, you know. So when I was, you know, cycling a lot, you know, it happened many times, you know, that, you know, I get up very early, go far away, you know, I came back and it was dark when I left, and I came back when it was, you know, and it was dark again. So that was the beginning, and then, you know, just again, you know, going up, you know, in the woods, you know, hiking, then start, you know, learning a little, you know, rock climbing, then mountain biking, you know, that's another, you know, great adventure. So I figured, you know, I need something, you know, where I can move from one place far away, and I don't need to worry to go back to where I live. So I'm like, okay, there's this thing called campervan. So basically, wherever I go, I don't need to worry, you know, where I end up. You know, a little bit like carpe diem. So, you know, when it's getting dark, you know, you're gonna be home, you know, because you're basically always, you know, home. And you pick your view wherever you at, you know, where you know, say, you know, that's always new. So there's always variety. It's not the same, you know, thing, you know, what you do every day.
What tips would you give our viewers here that are maybe interested in joining the lifestyle, the van life lifestyle, whether it's full-time, part-time, or weekend warrior. Now that you've been doing this for a period of time and you're full-time out on the road, is there any tips, like things that you found out after the fact that you would like to share with our viewers?
So it's a tough one because I don't really know their personality. But it's up to us, what's our personality. I think the number one thing is, you have to be brave. If you want it, you have to go for it, Now, there are a few things, the first question I always ask, do I want it or do I need it? And if I, know that, then it leads to the next one. And usually for people, I'm not sure, to go with this lifestyle, I think they're not brave enough. Maybe not. They not. Maybe not. Maybe they may be scared the safety, thing and stuff. And also, they have so much stuff because sometimes I have feelings when people, and I don't want to hurt feelings. When people buying house, they're buying stuff and they're just filling up their house with stuff they never really use. So I have one principle because sometimes I run out, storage as well, and I have one principle and. When I do, cleaning, I'm like, okay, if I don't use the stuff for half a year, I don't need it. And I have to get rid of that stuff. Now, I can sell it, I can give it to someone, or just throw it away. But that's how it works, So if I think, we understand this part, the next one, obviously, for people, what size of, RV or camper, they should buy. I tell everyone, even if it's a first one, for two people, a camper size, a better option. Because we can give up space, because this kind of lifestyle, we don't want to be inside. That's our, living space, but it's encouraging us to be outside, to do stuff which keep us healthy and when we meet each other and talk, to other people, so we don't need to sitting in a room, watch TV 24/7. That's a good option, but 24/7 maybe it's a little bit too much.
What was one of your biggest challenges that you had to overcome living this lifestyle? There must have been some situation or occurrence that you really had to figure out. Can you share that with our viewers?
I have quite a few, so I don't know how crazy we can be. Okay, probably, and I think that's important. Probably I can I mention two?
Sure.
Okay, the first one I would say that's maybe we need to come back to the safety. Not sure, if that's the right thing, but try to connect to the safety. So the other thing with this kind of lifestyle, it's important that what you have, it's in running order. So changing oil, checking the coolant, tire pressure, what kind of tires you have, brake pads. That's very important. And probably the biggest fear with the auto transmission when it fails, and it happened, to me. It went into limp mode. Now I try to fix everything I can on this, van. It's for two reasons. I can save a lot in a second. When I learn it once, then I can do it. Next time. I have my toolbox, and it basically bolts and nuts. So we can figure it out. But when you're on the road, that's a risky one. If you like challenges, sometimes you're pushing your limits. And the more you're pushing your limits, the more comfortable you are with things. The second one actually happened with another vehicle. We rented a car in Mexico, and I met a couple. They live in Colorado, and we decided to cross the border and go down to Belize. By the way, Mexico, it's a lovely place. We've been in the Caribbean side, and the plan was to go down to Belize. And we didn't know we cannot take a rented car over the border. So for us, I even have a picture in my passport, I have a picture. Actually, sorry, it's a stamp. When we tried to cross the border, they said we can't take the vehicle over the border, so we had to. For 2 hours, we tried to convince them we're not stealing the car. We're going to come back. So they gave us a stamp in the passport, saying that was the plate number and what type of car. When we left, Mexico, and when we're planning to come back, because I think maybe over there, it's a thing that they renting cars and maybe taking over the border. I'm not sure it's as exciting for people who's listening and watching this video, but for us it was quite a journey. But every day over here is just another adventure. We just go for it and do it.
Well, Tommy, thank you very much for taking the time with our viewers here on New Jersey Outdoor Adventures to give us a tour of your van and actually share your experience with us, some of the challenges you had, the things you've done differently in the van. Now, we're going to link in the description area. I'm going to actually have links eventually for YouTube, Patreon, or Instagram account, whatever he could share with us. If you want to follow his journeys as he full-time's on the road, and if you want to send him some money to continue his journeys, that's up to you guys. Well, Tommy, thank you very much for taking the time.
Man.
Well, this is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like this video, comment, share, subscribe. I love it, and we will see you soon.